And so we have to kind of take a step back with just the statistics in terms of the numbers of marriages versus how many real marriages there are, which is the union between one person and another. Remember, it's a mentality. You know, being married to somebody is a state of mind. There's a lot of people in a relationship who are married to each other, but they just don't have the legal status. And let me tell you, believe it or not, there are a whole lot of divorces that happen way before the ink is on the paper for dissolving the actual marriage. Before the divorce has already occurred. And so I think that we are putting too much into this legal status of marriage, when underneath all of that is more of a mindset. It's more of a disposition. So some of these men are creating their own happiness and doing all sorts of things outside of the marriage, not even including their wife. And it's not a real marriage, so to speak.
All right, Dr. Sabrina, what are your thoughts around men staying? I don't know if it's men staying too long or men staying in an unhealthy situation, or that women will leave before a man will, or even just that a man is settling for a situation that maybe is no longer happy in.
I agree with Dr. Alicia. A lot of people just check out. I mean, they check out mentally. They may be there physically. And that was the question that we didn't pull that onion back. Out of those, whatever the statistic was on the men that stay, how many of them actually have checked out of the marriage, but yet they're just still there? I know people that have done it. I have a very good friend that has done that. Reconnected with someone I hadn't seen in a long time about 8 years ago. And that person was unhappy at that time, but it's 8 years later and he's still there. Okay. He's still physically married to this person. And the question becomes, I mean, you were telling me the same thing you're telling me 8 years ago. Why are you still with this person? You know, you obviously have checked out, but I have to agree with Dr. Alicia. Just because you stay does not mean you're still all in. You can stay and be checked out.
Does that then become settling? I think that's now we're getting somewhere. Does that then become settling? If you are in a relationship with somebody and you have mentally checked out of the relationship, you're still on paper, so you are legally married on paper, but mentally you are not married. You have checked out of the relationship. You are doing your own thing, minding your own business. Is that now settling? Normally you're saying no. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
So, I think sometimes modern marriage can just kind of involve two people too much and not look at the peripheral things. There are children in there, and like my parents, before my father passed away, had been together for 50 years. You couldn't tell which ones were my father's siblings and which ones were my mother's siblings, because they had all been together for so long and loved each other and been family for so long. And that's just one element. They were also raising children. They had properties together. They had built businesses, and they had shared memories. There's so much that goes into a marriage that when you just reduce it to, I'm not feeling him anymore, and or I'm checking out or whatever. Sometimes you can check out in some parts of the relationship. Like I know couples, especially older couples, sometimes there'll be no sex. I won't say intimacy to try and cloak it.